Chapter 112, Can you really take off your veil? Explore the world of Demon Chart. Inside the heavenly demon nether dragon scroll, it was undoubtedly a world of utter darkness. Wastelands spread out in desolation. The remnants of towering halls reaching 100 feet tall were scattered all around. Bizarre fragments of divine statues were visible, among which was a giant Buddha statuette, broken-armed ancient Buddha with blind eyes. Not just Buddha statues but Taoist and Confucian ones too lay shattered, scattered all over the ground. Han Ye's eyes fluttered slightly. Moments later, he slowly opened them. At the 11th hour, he had brought Chu Shanyu into the demon map's interior. After that, he didn't remember much. Boom! A crack of thunder cut through the pitch-black night, illuminating the original appearance of the Grand Hall before him. The light vanished in a flash. Lying flat on the ground, Han Ye saw what was written on the plaque of the towering hall. Heavenly Demon Hall. He muttered slowly, his gaze sweeping all around him. Abandoned temples, broken divine statues, grand stone doors. A sticky darkness, full of inexplicable eeriness, permeated everything. It appeared this was the true form inside the heavenly demon nether dragon scroll. The instrument spirit hadn't opened the demon map world to him before. It was only now that the inner part of the heavenly demon nether dragon scroll was displayed before him. Can I get up now? In the absolute silence, a melodious female voice gently came from above. Hania reflexively replied, focusing his attention to discover someone above him. Chu Shanyu was quietly sitting behind him. The distance between them was too close. Even through the clothes, he could feel the warmth of her jade-like leg. He was actually leaning on her leg. His eyes stiffened for a moment, and Han Ye promptly sat up quickly. Then, he suddenly realized he was still holding her slender wrist. As he entered the illusion, there was an urgency that led to his stronger grip, which caused a red mark on her fair wrist. I'm sorry, it was a crisis, and I had no choice. Having reached safety, Han Ye instantly let her go and softly apologized. Chu Shanyu shook her head. She didn't blame Han Ye, the beauty in her eyes slightly escaping with our lives is already a great fortune. Without Han Ye, she feared she might have fallen into the hands of that Taoist and wouldn't be as safe as she was now. Tetribute pick up, Heaven Sent Fortune 51. As the crisis was resolved, several clusters of purple attribute appeared before Han Ye. Ever since he obtained this attribute, he had received fortuitous opportunities, was incredibly lucky, and repeatedly turned danger to safety. Fortune sure was important for a cultivator. If not for this fortune, he may not have transformed many previous dangers into luck, would he? As his own fortune increased, Han Ye was still very happy. With a slight smile, he was about to explain the origin of this place when he looked up and noticed something wrong. Chu Xianyu's veil was gone. Only then did he remember, during their escape, her veil had been blown away by the strong wind. Chu Shanyu in front of him, her hair as dark as ink scattered on her shoulders. Her clean, delicate face possessed an indescribable tranquil beauty. Her skin was pale and lustrous, her posture elegant. Especially after removing the veil, her clear and celestial demeanor, mixed with a charming embarrassment, was stunning. Even for Han Ye, aged rarely seen Chu Xianyu's actual face. He occasionally got a fleeting glance, but never one like now. He could clearly observe her and even hear her breathing, a situation had basically never happened before. Since arriving in this world, H met many beauties, including the heroic Liu Linky, the valiant senior sister Shen, the polite and gentle junior sister Ning. Each had their unique style. But if anyone could give him a stunning beauty that moved his heart, it was only Chu Shanyu. No one else could evoke this intense sense of beauty. Any praise became weightless in the face of her true celestial beauty. Containing his fluttering heart, Han Ye laughed at himself, then shook his head. His past self had always loved to read various novels, reviewing all kinds of heroines. How beautiful they were, how shocking their beauty. He would always ridicule them as being too fake, but only now, when he saw it himself, could he truly understand that feeling. He met Chu Xianyu's evasive gaze and sighed, "Miss Chu, can you not wear the veil? Your natural beauty is so stunning, it's a pity not to show it off." The corners of Chu Jianyu's beautiful eyes dimmed slightly at his words. After fixing her skirt, she stood up, turned her back on him, and responded, "Without the veil, I cannot use Kangbi. Without Kangbi, I am just an ordinary cultivator." The tone was filled with desolation, completely lacking the fairy-like grace of the swordsman under the moon at sea. Han Yi pondered for a moment before offering an explanation. Phthisis, a kind of latent mental illness. To cure it, you need stimulation and a long period of time. A mental illness? What's that? Xiaoxianu was unfamiliar with the new term and asked in confusion. Yes, simply put, it means that your Tao heart harbors hidden danger. Even though you may have overcome your heart demon and achieved an unshakable Tao heart, it's only under certain specific situations that you can achieve a flawless Tao heart, hence, treatment is necessary. Han Yi heard Chu Shanyu talking about her childhood. If anyone had experienced the childhood trauma and years of torment in the sword tomb as she did, it would be impossible for them to emerge. Dying directly inside would be a common outcome. That Chu Shanyu could walk out signifies her Tao heart was already different from ordinary people's. However, the Chu Shanyu who walked out was mask-covered, not her real self, so in a sense, she took a wrong path. Perhaps, only by removing her veil himself could he truly enter her heart and then heal her. Han Yi believed that a Chu Shanyu who could wield a sword without the need for a veil would truly be an unrivaled prodigy. "Can you heal people?" Surprise flashed in Chu Jianyu's eyes. Han Yi laughed. "If you're willing, I can try, of course, after we return to the sect." Chu Shanyu nodded in agreement, then tilted her head slightly, looking towards the grand signboard of the Great Hall, and asked, "Instead of worrying about my illness, shouldn't you be explaining everything before us? Can you explain properly now? Where are we?" Bracing his knees to rise from the ground, Han Ye's right arm remained as powerless and pale as ever. Unable to move due to the influence of demonic power, this is the interior of the Heavenly Demon Nether Dragon Scroll. It's safe. Heavenly Demon Nether Dragon Scroll? Chu Jianyu's pupils shrank. She had some guesses, now that Han Yi laid everything out in the open. Combined with some details of his battle against the demonic cultivator, she found it unexpectedly reasonable. Of course, she knew what this artifact was. Everyone believed that the Heavenly Demon Nether Dragon Scroll disappeared again during the sect war a year ago. Several demonic sects attacked in succession, emerging frequently to search. Over the years, while executing tasks outside of the sect, she often heard similar pieces of news. After a brief silence, Chu Shanyu said, "I didn't expect it to be on you. This is my first time entering it. Let's see what's inside this demon chart together." Han Yi withdrew his gaze and started looking around the environment. Chu Shanyu nodded. Following behind Han Yi, she stepped into the 100-feet-tall gate, radiating faint white light. This seemed to be a ruin. Virtually nothing inside was intact. Everything was magnificently massive, like the rare night pearls of the human realm. Here they were just miniature sun-sized street lamps. Even the street lamps were so huge, not to mention everything else in the Great Hall. The 100 meters tall statues collapsed along the way, unevenly scattered across the ground in odd positions. There was a man covering his eyes with wings, a giant wolf howling at the moon, a human figure with a snake tail, and a sacred face. A row of statues. As Han Yi caught sight of this scene, his brows gradually furrowed. What was this heavenly demon hall for? Why were there so many statues, and what were they for? By the way, do you need my help with anything? Walking down the central path, Chu Shanyu recalled the wager she had with Han Yi outside. "I don't need anything for the time being, just keep it in mind. I'll tell you when I think of something," Han Yi replied while shifting his gaze to examine everything around them. After walking for quite some time, they finally encountered something new. A series of 100-meter-high stone walls appeared. The content on each wall was different. Each one seemed to be narrating a story. The patterns and stories on the wall paintings were related to the statues they had seen earlier, imparting a special demonic power. With just one look, Han Yi felt a splitting headache. His mental strength instantly drained. His head went blank. He nearly stumbled. Seeing this, Chu Shanyu stepped forward to support Han Yi, softly explaining, These wall paintings should be the legendary Heavenly Demon Imagination Map. Heavenly Demon Imagination Map. Han Yi was surprised, quickly counting the number of wall paintings before him. There were in total 24 paintings.